Token Metrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.
We are live. Welcome to the Market Update. I'm your host, Bill Noble. This show is brought to you by tokenmetrics.com. If you need a roadmap in crypto, and you need to make money in crypto, then subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live. And of course, if you like the content, please give us a thumbs up. Let's welcome everybody coming in on the stream. Happy Monday. Flip Burger, Boss Nova, how you doing? Hodl Crypto, Moses, hi. Chill Money, Aiken, Orlando, Florida, Steve. Welcome to the show. We have Bulgaria, Belgium, London, right? Somebody needs some good news. All right, I might be able to give you some. Santa Fe, New Mexico, EJ, welcome to the stream. Anybody new here, feel free to shout yourself out so I can give you some love. GMT, J-Dog, that's working for you. Yes. Work out to earn. It's like buy the NFT and work out, right? Don't buy the token. Work out, buy the NFT. Okay, buy the NFT, work out, collect the token. Anthony Cox, Roll Tide. All right. Mira from Italy, Peru. Okay. Ryan says, Bill, green is a better color. Okay, it definitely is. All right. South Florida is here. Ferris needs buying opportunities. Okay. Steve J reminding everybody to hit the like button, especially when it comes to TA request time. Miami Crypto in the house. All right. So Parrish wants to know, should you buy the dip? Or is this the start of a bear market? All right. So we're going to help him, all right, along with Greece, Easton, Pennsylvania, right? And Munich is in the house, along with Bridget's Fire and POK. Welcome. Ferris, we appreciate the like. Now, let us jump into your market update. Buy the dip or get out. Just happens to be that we're thinking the same way. What are you going to do and when are you going to do it? Don't go everywhere. So I'm going to cover all of the big cryptos, like the big picture, like total crypto market cap stuff, right? We'll talk a little bit about what's going on with food futures. Yes, don't laugh. Food futures, right? And then we will get into what altcoins to get out of and what altcoins to get into. Okay, total crypto market cap. This is a 2-day chart. So something in between a weekly and a daily. See that Williams oscillator down here in the bottom right corner? Every time that puppy gets to sort of unchanged, big moves can happen. That's why I'm telling people to reduce risk on green days. So if you've got altcoins that aren't working out, you need to move stuff around, not investment advice, okay, so that you have stable coins that you can jump into. Last week, right, on Thursday, I said it always happens on like Western, like traditional American or religious holidays. The market dumps or they do something wild. So Easter Sunday night, everybody, all the New York people, London's asleep. New York is sitting home, right? Trying to digest dinner and chocolate, and boom, the market dumps. So if you look at this, the market can't really take one more dump before all of these total market cap charts turn. Now, this is total crypto market cap without Bitcoin. It's the same picture. So it's kind of hanging around 1 trillion. So not the end of the world, but this is not a good looking chart. It's at resistance and it's failing. Now, total 3. So this is altcoins, market cap without Bitcoin or Ethereum. All right. Now, if there is no dip, or actually, wait, let's check that. If this rally today fails, right? What am I always saying? Watch the failed rally. So they dumped it. They ran stops while no one was paying attention. Now they're bringing it back up because everyone sold it in the hole. I don't want you to sell in the hole. If you have to sell, sell on green when it's up. Why? Because all it takes is one bad week in altcoins, right? Which may be sell in May and go away, which remember, we're getting close to, okay? So if you got to reduce risk, do it now, particularly in altcoins. Now let's talk about a leading indicator that matters, Galaxy Digital, okay? Galaxy Digital has been a stock that has served us well. Galaxy Digital up, crypto up. Galaxy Digital down, crypto down. Now, lately I've been noticing that Galaxy has been more of a follower than a leader. But that said, I do not want to see Galaxy below 1574. So if you're sitting out there going, okay, can I just write down on a sticky note or just set an alert in my phone to say, all right, this is where I have to get in or this is where I have to get out? In my opinion, if Galaxy is below 1574 and stays there, that is the get out sign. Bitcoin dominance. Okay. This is why I'm all about reducing risk in altcoins. Bitcoin dominance made a new low over the weekend and then came screaming back. Bitcoin dominance has made multiple new lows since the beginning of the month. Okay, this is a 4-hour chart and momentum indicators have been making like higher lows. What does that mean? That means if something happens to this market, Bitcoin dominance could go up a lot. Now, it already kind of moved, a little bit over the weekend, right? So it popped back up above that 41.5%, but I do not like the way this looks, right? If you got to own something, I think it's Bitcoin. I'm going to give you a couple altcoins at the end of the PowerPoint that I think are okay. Cardano is actually one of them. So if there are Cardano fans out there, maybe you stay tuned for that. Keep my fingers crossed for Cardano. But this Bitcoin dominance chart is telling you that if you've got stuff and you're losing money in it, then if there's a green day, okay, adjust risk. Now, let's talk about the Token Metrics All Exchange Index. So we've been looking at the daily. Now we're going to look at the weekly. Yes, on Token Metrics, we have daily and weekly indices. Now, one thing customers will have noticed was that Monero was showing up in the indices day after day after day. And last night, there was a huge pump in Monero, reinforcing the idea that, you got to pay attention to these things every day. And a Token Metrics subscription can pay for itself in one day. Now, we, as in the live stream, missed it because we go on at a fixed time every day. But there's a couple things to note here. One, the index has got more than half of its money, like 2/3, in cash and gold. That's on a weekly basis. And the only thing it really wants to own is OEC token and Monero, which we'll chart later. So if you're wondering if there's more upside in Monero, stay tuned. We'll let you know. Okay. But again, these things got you out of danger before Easter. Okay. They're keeping you out of danger and they're focusing on altcoins to watch. Now, as a reminder as to why the market sucks, right? So I showed you, all the market cap charts, and that may or may not have made sense. Well, here's what does make sense. You have a 13 top in Bitcoin from the big top last year. And then you may be working towards a 9 bottom on a weekly chart, and we're currently at 5. So you could be looking, on the monthly chart, you could be looking at 4 more down months in Bitcoin before you got to a 9 bottom on a monthly chart. And what have we been talking about, right? April, May, June, July, with a possible bottom in August, right? That's the sell in May and go away. So you can hold crypto, but you got to have stable coins, okay? And you can't be long garbage. So if you really like what you got, you can hold it. But if you're like, oh man, I can't take any more of this, then we'll help you make some adjustments. Now, do you remember back when the Russia crisis started that everyone's like, oh my God, you got to buy crypto because everyone in Russia is going to need crypto, right? Wrong. This is Bitcoin in rubles. Now, believe it or not, it actually made a new high. So in dollar terms, it was like Bitcoin for Russians went to 70K. But then it's coming off hard, and that Williams oscillator looks terrible. Not to mention the fact that the new high was not confirmed. All the momentum indicators made lower highs. So let me put it to you this way. If the Russians don't want or need crypto at this time, who wants or needs crypto? I mean, those guys supposedly are, they got problems. And if you can't hide in BTC, where are you going to hide? This is why on green days, I want people to adjust risk. All right. Now, after the good news, I think the good news is that, if today's rally fails, like the short-term worst case scenario is 36K or 35K Bitcoin, right? In other words, this market was trading in a range between like 39 and say 45. And then it broke 45 and it broke 42 and then it broke 40 or 40.5. Okay. Now I think the range may be 41 to 35. So 41 may be the new top end of the range. Okay. Now, another reminder, Ethereum monthly, this April, it's a little odd shaped, but it is a 13 top. So if you're asking yourself, why is the market down? This is why. So nothing I've said so far makes sense. Okay. There is a 13 top for April on the ETH monthly chart. And that's why every time ETH goes up, it gets sold. Just straight DeMark technical analysis, right? So you could have 4 more down months in Bitcoin, and you could have 4 or 5 more down months in Ethereum, or 1 big down month at some point in the summer. Okay? So if it can happen to Bitcoin, it can happen to ETH. Start adjusting risk now. Now let's talk about some key levels. 2967 on the Ethereum 4-hour chart is very important. So if ETH is above that level, then you might have a day or two to see how far it can go on the upside, right, before you have to make any adjustments. Now, if it fails at 2967, that's GTFO. Now, what else is happening? Food prices. This is the Commodity Research Bureau Index, CRB. It is as old as the hill. When soybeans and wheat and gold and oil go up, CRB goes up. Bottom right-hand corner, you have from Reminiscence of a Stock Operator, the first technical analysis book written by hand, okay, the journal of Jesse Livermore. Okay, CRB did an accumulation cone. I noticed the similarity and had no idea what the consequences could be if Commodities did what that chart in the bottom right implies. Matter of fact, I thought it was going to top out, and now I'm starting to wonder whether or not this thing can really just go, as in commodity prices. Now, how would that happen? Okay, food. This is corn futures, okay, a 2-week chart. So corn futures look like altcoins, right? So first it was wheat, then it was corn, okay? And then this may spill over into the Bitcoin of agricultural futures, soybeans. So if wheat moons and corn moons, if beans follow, that means you're looking at 25% food inflation. That's probably what freaked everybody out this morning. Okay. Now, oil. Okay. Oil is a strange market. You know, the Russians are selling a truck. They're selling tons of oil, as in a lot of oil. They're selling a lot of oil. So this whole idea that the Russians aren't selling any oil is not true. Okay. But that doesn't mean oil can't trade from 111 to 124, because that's what it looks like it wants to do if you look at UK oil. So if you have food and oil going up, okay, and folks, literally, this idea is older than me. Commodities up, bond prices down, right? Inflation up, bonds down. Inflation hurts bonds, right? So we talked about this last week. This is long bond futures at the Chicago Board of Trade. Okay. I don't know how it works now, but it used to trade across the hall from beans. And in the 70s, beans and bonds were in the same room. Beans were the inflation indicator and bonds watched inflation. So in absence of anything to do, the guys in bonds would watch beans to see what was happening with inflation. Okay. What's old is new again. This is a god-awful head and shoulders top showing long bond prices could go down 20%. Okay. Also something to keep in mind. All right. So commodities up, bonds down. Okay. Bonds down, interest rates up. All right. Now ask yourself this question. Long bonds are connected to 30-year mortgage rates. So if you don't understand long bonds, you don't understand the interest rate part of it, just think of it as 30-year mortgage rates. All right. Now, right now, the long bond yield is at 293. What is the Wall Street Journal going to look like? What's the headline going to be if the yield on the long bond takes out 3%? Just a hypothetical. Okay. What is that going to look like? Okay. People are going to start freaking out. Now, right now, it's at 293, 295. So not an immediate crisis, but it's only 5 basis points away from long bond at 3%, 30-year mortgage rates at blah, 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 blah. And that's going to spook stocks. Okay. So why is the market down over the weekend? It's food and bonds, right? If inflation can't be stopped, there's only 2 people who can stop it. 2 entities, the Fed or the long bond. Let me tell you something. You do not want the long bond and the people who trade the long bond on the warpath. Okay. Because when the long bond moves, it literally is, it can shake the legacy world. Okay. I grew up in an era where everyone, like the long bond futures pit was the biggest pit before S&P took over in the late 90s. All right. Now let's talk about what food up, bonds down, rates up means for risky stuff. Okay. So what does inflation and rising rates mean for risky assets? So let's talk about ARK. Somebody actually asked about ARK, right? ARKK. Okay. That's the altcoins of the stock market. So 5686 is support. It's been going down like crypto. And if it gives out, it's probably got at least 10% downside before there's support. Okay. ETH 8 hour. Okay. You've got this expanding range. Okay. They did this little dance. It was good. It was not good. They shook everybody out and then they stopped everybody out. They stopped out all the longs. Now they could be stopping out all the shorts. But the bottom line is, I don't think you buy this dip until ETH gets to 26.21. Right? So You're selling rallies until they prove you wrong. And then the support where you want to start range trading again is 26.21. Now, Solana, be advised. If Solana is above 101, no problem. If Solana is below 101 and can't get back above it, then there's not a lot of support in Solana. We had the same problem with Avalanche last week. So some of these consensus long layer ones, even though I thought this was going up, thank God I had the 117 stop. Because if this thing cannot stay above 101, it is in trouble. Okay, now ApeCoin. I'm interested in this because I'm interested in finding a place to buy it. So let's pretend, because, buying it at 14, buying it at 12, buying it at 11, and it really hasn't worked. It hasn't worked, right? It hasn't killed you. But what is the juicy buy point in ApeCoin? And I think it's actually below 9. Now, how might I get that? Well, if 11.25, if there's resistance at 11.27. So this is worth watching kind of like long term, right? If there's a speculative coin that's worth buying, if there's a blowout, this could be one of them. Now, Cardano. Cardano in many ways has kind of already gotten killed. It's either that or it's just dead. Now, I'm watching Cardano kind of bounce down this trend line. It can't seem to really ricochet off of it. Okay, I know somewhere out there, other than say STEPN, there's a one coin market. So it could be near. Okay, XRP is possible. Cardano is possible. Okay, I think Cardano, if there's a catalyst, can go up a notch. Now, obviously, if there's no catalyst, Cardano is going to get dragged down with the rest of the market. But this is one of the only coins I can find where I can say, okay, you know what? I can draw something that looks like real support. That doesn't mean it's going to go up, but that could mean it could go up if there is a catalyst. Somewhat similar to what Monero did. Now, speaking of Monero, okay, again, this is why it pays to have Token Metrics. Okay, this is a 90-minute chart. Okay, Monero probably showed up in our indices like earlier this morning. Okay, and then boom. Now, 250 is a key chart point. So if Monero holds 250, it's got more upside. If it doesn't, then it's like kind of all these altcoins during this phase of the market where you get the moonshot and you're done. But if Monero holds 250 and our indices still like it, that's a narrative I would consider, right? If the market doesn't fall apart, Monero could have more upside if 250 is support. OKC shows up in our indices, right? 44.97 is a good support point. If 44.97 holds, you might turn around and see 49. If 44.97 doesn't hold, then exit. Okay, right now it looks like there's buyers down there. So if the market doesn't fall apart, somewhere in here will be altcoins. Even if Bitcoin lurches down to 36K, some altcoins will come back. Now, I know that's a big drop, okay? But, I mean, it wasn't 39 something this morning, so they may wick it down there. And if they do, I don't know, your Cardanos, your Moneros, maybe your OKC could be in there as possible ideas. And that is the market update. All right. Now, let's see. We've got Mexico representing in the house. We appreciate that. I saw somebody moving, looking for Phantom. Don't worry, we're going to cover that. Okay. Okay, somebody's asking me bullish or bearish. Okay, honestly, I would say bearish until you get some kind of washout. Was today the washout? I don't know. 2% down in ETH doesn't feel like a washout. Okay, if you get 36K Bitcoin, I would say bounce from there. So negative until the range resets itself. That's how I would describe it. Okay, let's go to request TA. Now, folks, request TA, not playing around. Okay, definitely love all you guys out there, But let's make sure you hit the like button. All right. Now we're looking at ETH. Okay. I'm going to start with ETH. I always like to do a Bitcoin and Ethereum review, okay, before we go into other altcoins. So there was a prior resistance point right at 29.67. ETH is just above that. So, like I said, if you have a green day and they're squeezing out shorts, okay, now is the time to adjust your risk profile. Okay, if you bought the dip, great. Okay, you want to see it above 29.67. Let's go to 4-hour Bitcoin, and then we'll get to the most highly requested stuff. Okay, so you had a 13 bottom in Bitcoin. You had a C wave and a 5 wave down. So, you know, like I said, with Bitcoin dominance, okay, Bitcoin is better than anything else. Now, Bitcoin has got to get back above this old range. So what do I always say? Okay, you don't want to see a failed rally. A lot of good stuff going on here in Bitcoin. A lot of good short-term DeMark signals. Good stuff, right? But remember, we talked about 40.5K? It's got to get back above 40.5K. That was the old ceiling. Okay, if it can't do that, and then all these bottom signals don't mean anything, right? So everyone puked over Easter. They stopped everybody out. Now they may be sucking everybody back in. Careful, right? This is how big players, right? This is how big players move the market around so they can do what they need to do, right? They scare everybody. Everyone pukes, right? Then it rallies, and that's when they're going to sell, right? When everyone's trying to FOMO back in. So just be advised, this looks okay. All right, so let's go to our altcoin chart and just get roaring on all these requests. Definitely want to get everybody what they need here. Okay, so somebody will ask. So I've got the 4-hour chart of Nano just to get started here. Let me just get my DeMark stochastic indicator up first. Okay, so 4-hour Nano chart, like I said, rallying, but at resistance at $2.10. Now let's look at Luna. Okay, which no doubt is going to give us a much different picture. Okay, now with Luna, I would say you want to see Luna above 88. Now, one of the things that's really difficult, especially when you like a coin, all right, is having to face the fact that you might have to sell on big rallies. Now, let me ask you something. What's the harder thing to do? Is it to say, oh my God, look at this amazing green candle, let's buy everything? Or should I say, this is an opportunity to get out unless you see Luna take out this moving average system right around 91. So a lot of this stuff is rallying right into resistance. So let's just take a look at where we are in Bitcoin and ETH, just looking at trading view charts. Okay, so I don't know if ETH is right at its prior low, right? The old floor, is it the ceiling? So I know it is hard to sell Luna, right? And I think if you're hodling Luna, it's okay. Okay, but if you've got the rent money in Luna and you bought it at 110, then a rally to 86 may be an opportunity to reduce risk, especially if you got 4 more down months. So, you know, a lot of times you get the 9 bottom, right? This is the other thing about DeMark, right? So here's the 9 bottom. And what do I always say about 9 bottoms? Now, for anyone who's new, let's talk about this. Okay. DeMark will count. He's the technical analyst who invented this. You'll get a set of conditions for 1 through 9. You know, the low is lower than the low 2 days ago. Okay. The most important thing is when that set of conditions appears for the 9th time, the 9 appears as a big number because that matters. Why? Well, if it's a range, you'll get, 1 through 9 bottom, then 1 through 9 top, if it's a range. Now, if it's not a range, okay, you'll get 1 through 9, then you'll get a counter trend bounce, which can be very robust, and then the downtrend can resume. So in Luna, you never saw the counter trend bounce because they killed it over the weekend. So just be careful that this isn't the counter trend bounce, right? Be careful of failed rallies. Okay, Flux. Okay, so Flux is hanging around a support point at $1.42. It broke that over the weekend. Now, was this a give up trade in Flux? It could be. It could be, right? In other words, some of these small altcoins, this is what I'm afraid of. But if it's already occurred in Flux, then Flux may wind up being okay. Let's go to a 90-minute chart and see if there's a 13 bottom. Okay, no 13 bottom, but it pulled up short of support at $1.34. Now, with Flux, okay, if it's above $1.39, then the give-up trade has already occurred. That's how I would approach that. Okay, Frax not on the DeMark system. Okay, Prince A is noting that BTC is pumping. Yes, it is. Okay, so good pump in Frax. Okay, on a very tactical note. Okay, Frax is actually moving above a fractal. That's good. This is an 89-minute chart. Let's go to something like an 8-hour. Okay, so you see this Williams RSI? Okay, so this is something that looks constructive to me because the old ceiling was the floor and the Williams oscillator is going in the right direction, and so is the RSI. So if I was long this, I would stay long this. Stay long it, right? If it takes the market, if the downtrend doesn't resume for a week, then the market is telling you which of these altcoins could be okay, right? Now, again, if you're in winners, stay in winners. If you're in losers and it goes up, then adjust risk, okay? All right, so they're coming in. They're coming in fast. So let's go to Metaverse. Hey, somebody is asking if, a relief rally is possible. It is possible. The question is, with relief rallies, are people willing to pay higher prices? right? Like, how do we know that what we're looking at right now is not a relief rally? Because they sold it over the weekend and stopped everybody out. So Gala on a daily chart, it's really hard to get bearish when it bottomed down here like a bunch of times in January. Okay. You know, this candle does look like reversal. The question is it reversal for a day? Okay. So if you look at the 4-hour chart of Gala, okay, a close above 19 cents would be really constructive. Okay. So it does look like they puked everybody out in some of these coins over the weekend. Okay. Someone's asking for Binance coin. By the way, folks, don't forget to hit the like button. Love you guys, but don't make me insist on it. Okay. Binance coin is actually something that I've liked, right? So they puked this right into support at 397, and they're coming back. So if there is a relief rally, this is something that I think is really interesting, right? So let's just say that buy on green days means you get, I don't know, maybe you get 2 green days, okay? Or if, you know, this is a reversal, then Binance coin could go to 435. Now, that said, okay, Binance coin has been trading in a range between 397 and this wavy green moving average. So the top end of the range has actually been this wavy line on the 4-hour chart. So I guess if you're breaking out above 414, it's on in Binance coin. Okay, SHIB, which is in some of our indices on Token Metrics, by the way. Okay. Could SHIB be a part of the future of money? Okay. So if SHIB closed above where it is right now, let's see if I can get an accurate read on that. I've seen SHIB and Doge in our indices on Token Metrics. Okay. So let's go to the 4-hour chart of SHIB and check that out. Okay, so 2520. So take out the zeros. We're looking at 2520, right? Every time SHIB is below that, it comes back. Every time it's way above it, it comes back down to that level. My guess is if SHIB is for real, you're going to see an explosion through 2520. Okay, right now, probably what you're looking at is shorts running for the hills because everybody panicked Sunday night, stopped out, got short. Now it's turning around and going back up again. The question is, after everybody gets done covering, are people willing to pay higher prices? Like here, for example, here's Solana. So there's the chart that I had on my PowerPoint, right? And there is the 101 level in Solana. Now, if Solana takes out 101, great. Okay. So over the last 2 days, as of right now, Solana is at a stalemate. Now, I know this is not a requested coin. I'm just noting that big coins have erased down moves, and that's about it. That's about it. Okay. Somebody's saying all crypto is a cult. That is funny. Crypto is something you have to believe in. And if you believe in one particular coin, well, you know what? I don't have a problem with that. I don't want you to hate on anybody because they believe in a different coin than you do, but I'm okay with people really believing in what they want to own. okay? Because the best analysts and traders in the world, they have one thing in common. They have a view. They're like, you know what? I think this is going up. Or if you see big green days, adjust risk, right? I try to give you a clear-cut view. So if you love a coin, good for you, okay? But that doesn't mean you can't do risk management. Now, Kyber. All right. So this thing, I said it's time to take the money, okay? And then they mooned it in my face, but then they dropped it, okay? This was yesterday. So they did like we talked about taking profits here, and they did these 2 monster moonshots up to $5. Now let's go to the 4-hour chart. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the 90-minute chart. That seems to be the most useful today, I think. All right. So they did the moonshot. They bought the dip. Now the question is it going to get above a DeMark moving average at 436? Okay. This thing has been a pretty good trend following instrument. Okay. There was a big point at 496. If you've been in something and you've gotten a massive amount of benefit from it, even though I realize that this has got a very strong fundamental story. So do you have to get out? Well, no. Now, if you didn't, here's the story. Everybody sold here and here. So everybody who was going to sell did. That's your gamble, right? You're saying, okay, everyone who's going to take profits and get out has done so. So if you still believe in this and you want to hold it, that's fine. Okay. But I'm all about ringing the register and taking the money on some of a trade. So if you want to just hold it, sometimes it does pay to be a pig. Most times it doesn't. Remember, food inflation, interest rates, etc. That stuff matters. It doesn't matter right now because people are getting squeezed. So, you know, if you hold Kyber, you can hold it. Okay. Obviously, somebody's looking to take profits in front of 5, and I'll leave the rest of that up to you. Okay. Okay. Rubber Duck Film says, I took the money. Okay. Somebody's asking for, I haven't seen this yet. OOKI. Okay, like many small altcoins. Okay, is the old floor the new ceiling? Okay, so this was the give up trade. This is where they washed everyone out. Now the question is, do people want to come in and pay higher prices? So it's 0.0138. So if this rally has legs, leave it because you survived the give up trade. If not, the give up trade may have another leg to it. You have to be careful in this small stuff. You'll know. I mean, this stream is being done midday on the 18th. So if you're watching this later, okay, I'll label this just so people know what I'm looking at. This is OOKI 89-minute. Okay, and I can see that chat flying. So don't worry, folks. We're going to hook you up here. Don't worry. But please hit the like button while you're at it. So again, right, you got the rally. That's great. Will the rally continue to hold? Or is everyone just running into Bitcoin? Okay, Filecoin, a frequent request. Will Filecoin rise again? Okay, so the good news is Filecoin on a 90-minute chart, it broke out, then it crashed to a 9 bottom, and this looks like it's zooming back and forth between $18.86 and $21, right? In other words, It doesn't have a direction. It's just stopping out the shorts at the top and stopping out the longs at the bottom. Now, when this goes on for a long period of time, what does it mean? Well, it probably means Filecoin is entering an extended base building period. In other words, this rally and this collapse probably defines the range for Filecoin. Sometimes that happens, right? When you get a big move and a big collapse, right? That is the range. So Filecoin either has to take out the low or it has to get above 2150, and everything else is just back and forth. Oh, somebody's asking for Phantom. I can't believe I forgot Phantom. I didn't forget about you. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, we're going off a 90-minute chart now on Phantom, just for video variety. Okay, I did not see this coming. I did not think Phantom was going to go down to $1. Now, that said, there is a 13 and a 9 bottom down here. And of all the altcoins, yeah, I mean, maybe the old ceiling, okay, maybe, you know, it's just going right back where it came from. So maybe it's going back to $1.14. Honestly, I have a hard time being negative Phantom, but I can acknowledge that this was probably BS, probably just a complete stop fishing exercise, only to bring it back where it was. So what's happened other than the fact that somebody scooped up some cheap crypto or somebody who had to get out just leveled the market, right? Both are possible. I have a hard time being negative Phantom. Cardano and Phantom are two cryptos I have a hard time being negative on. Okay, trying to bring up CHZ. Okay, so this is your 90-minute chart now, right? You had a big point right at around 22. Okay, again, they washed it out, and it looks like they want to take it back to 24. So as we look through all these altcoins, again, very short term, okay, crypto.com. You know, all we're looking at here is an unwind of the weekend. That's it. Okay, trying to get crypto.com up here. All right, again. So there was the awful weekend. There's the C wave and 5-way bottom on a 90-minute chart. And now the big question is this. Will crypto.com be able to break a trend line? So on a 90-minute chart, that green candle looks amazing. It looks as amazing as this drop looked horrible. Okay, but all it's doing is bringing it back into the range that it was in prior to everyone giving up. So once it comes back to its like value area, you know, we'll be able to make decisions tomorrow. Like you'll know tomorrow whether or not this thing is for real on the upside. Now, near. Oh my God, I can't believe you got near below 15. Okay. I'm just kind of a big fan of the idea that if the market goes up, like near is one of the big winners. Okay. It hasn't done much. You did get it below 15. So I probably got company on this view. Okay. I probably got company on this view which is why nears probably get above 16 before you can get like real excited. Okay, let's see if I have DVF. Okay, I'm probably going to have to go to a daily chart on this. Okay, so you've got the DeMark 13 bottom. And it probably has to get through 525. Okay, so having a bottom signal is okay, but what you really need is people willing to pay higher prices. Right now, you just have people like trading in a range. Okay, can I show near on Token Metrics? Yes, I can. Okay, so maybe we can do near and phantom on. Okay, so with symbolic, I believe you need the highest end plan to get all the DeMark work. Okay, so in near, right, the visual trends indicator is bullish, right? So, you know, the trend is your friend until until otherwise stated. Let's just look at what the grades are doing. Okay, so the weekly and the monthly grades are good. The daily grade has got some work to do, but we've said that across all altcoins. All right. BTC pumping right now. Let's take a look at the extent of the pump. Wow. You're right. That is a pump. Okay. So Bitcoin dominance up 1%. Okay. Now, again, this is 89-minute Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin was right here at 41, and we'll go back to DeMark on Bitcoin. But this is where Bitcoin topped from, right before Easter. So, I mean, I know it sounds kind of stupid, but what has really happened in crypto? Nothing. Everyone got stopped out, short in the hole, and now they're all getting squeezed out. Now, you know, again, you got the 13 bottom, a final puke. That's good. It's taking out a moving average. That's good. Okay. All right. But, okay. What have I been saying? It's tough to do, but when it's looked amazing, that's when it's paid to reduce risk. That's when it's paid. Not down here. Not down here. Like, see this big green candle? I mean, with this candle, did it not look like it was going to the moon? It looked like it was going to the absolute moon, and then nobody was willing to pay above 41 to get it. Now, there may be some sort of news catalyst coming in, okay? Some volume is coming into the market, okay? Right? But, all right, you have to ask yourself, when is it paid to buy it when it's up? It has it paid to buy it when it's up, and it has it paid to sell it when it's down. The only question really is, what's the range? Is the range still, I don't know, 47 to 39, or is the range 41 to 36? Okay, so here's Rune. Okay, very hard for me not to like Rune. Very hard. Okay, I like this all the way up, and you know, when you get this kind of retracement, Okay. It pulled up, I don't know, just a little bit short of the 62%. Just a little bit. 62% was 720. Now, is this still a one coin market? Kind of. Can Moon move on its own? Now, it is not paid to buy things after they've dipped a lot. It's paid to buy little dips on the way up, but it has not paid to buy the bigger dips. Okay, we'll see. If I had to try it anywhere, I would try it with Room. Like if I had to buy a big dip in something and be like, all right, I'm taking a shot here because I missed it on the way up. It went to 12 and then it went to 7. All right, fine. I'll take a shot. Okay, now here's another one that may be worth taking a shot in, Zcash. Okay, now 62% held. That's good, right? Remember, our indices like Monero, right? So it will be a telling sign for the market. It will be a telling sign for the market if you can get a puke like this and a recovery, right? And reversals are great. Like if you read a candlestick book, reversals are great. Okay. The question is, after reversal, do you get follow through? Right. So if today's a pump day, okay, great. But today, if I'm looking at this right, the pump is being led by Bitcoin and ETH is lagging. Frankly, I prefer to see a pump led by ETH and stocks. That's just me. Okay. Sushi. Okay, so sushi is, makes you want to cry. I hate to say it, right? So what did they do in sushi? Well, I don't know. They mooned it, then they dropped it, then they dropped it, then they brought it all the way back, right? This is just people stopping each other out, making each other crazy. Right? So there's this band in sushi between 320 and 337, right? So sushi can't stay below it. That's over here, right? It doesn't stay below it and it doesn't stay above it. It doesn't stay above it and it doesn't stay below it. So it's almost like some of this stuff it's like, it doesn't feel like it, but it really isn't going anywhere. You're like, oh my God, it went all the way down and came all the way back. It's a monster reversal. No, it was an illiquid holiday puke, right? And now everyone who got short in the hole is covering. The question is, do real buyers come back in? Okay, so BSW. Okay, very interesting here, at least on a very short-term chart. Okay, so it takes out the 62% retracement and then comes back. So people were willing to buy the dip here. Not a lot of daily history on Binance. Okay, let's go to the 4-hour chart. I don't know, whatever this is, it feels like people want it, right? In other words, it goes up and then it retraces. Now, the real issue is, can it take out $1.30? Now, okay, so Strecco says, did I miss the Zcash analysis? Yes, but I'll do it again. Okay, somebody was asking, should I wait until the uptrend is confirmed? Okay, no, because buying strength has not paid off. Okay. Everybody wants to FOMO in on green days, and maybe there's a huge reversal in progress. All right. But how do you know 41.5K is not the new top of the range? So Zcash hits the 62% retracement at 135 and bounces. So with Zcash and Rune, right, two huge leaders, the question is, will it pay to buy on the 62%? So with this, you don't want to sit around and wait for a new high, right? If you're getting involved here, you're saying, all right, well, if it closes above 147, I'll buy a dip and put the stop below 135 if you got to get involved. But I think it's like Bitcoin and very select altcoins. Okay. Okay. So Strecco is saying the privacy narrative may be taking off. And yes, that may be the case. Now let's go back to ETH. So 29.67 did not act as resistance. So it looks like they seriously mean business in ETH. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at XRP. I've actually got an XRP and Cardano whole tab set up. Okay, so if you look at the 4-hour chart, people bought the dip in XRP, right? It went up, right? They flushed everyone out. And it held at the 62% retracement. So we actually covered this. We actually did it in a recorded video. Okay. We covered XRP and Cardano, right? Like there's Cardano coming off, I can't believe it actually went down to 88 cents. So Cardano, I actually believe, I don't know, that's like one of the altcoins on my list. Okay. Someone's asking for Vader. Check that out. Okay, so on an 89-minute chart, it looks like they want to take it up because they rallied it and then they dropped it. And let's see where they dropped it to. Right to the 62%. So someone's asking is, do you want to wait for an uptrend to be confirmed? No. Like if you like this stuff and you actually think the market can go up more than 1 or 2 days, then jump in and put the stop in. Now, would I chase ETH up like this? No, but some of this smaller stuff, if you like it and it's beat up, okay. Now, if you own this from, up here, right, at 0.0126, I'd be like, all right, well, maybe you get a rally and maybe that's a good time to reduce risk. It depends what you're doing, right? If you're just like, oh, well, let's try a day trade or let's try a trade for a week. Okay. The question is, like when we're meeting tomorrow, are people paying higher prices? That's the question. Okay, someone was asking about helium. I actually heard helium was actually down a lot earlier. I don't know if that's true. Okay, so in helium, again, it's the same thing. Now, helium is a much, it's sort of more high quality, right? So in a way, even though no one in either camp will agree with this, but helium and Cardano feel similar, right? They're like very big altcoins with unique stories and very loyal followings. Okay. And it's hard to figure out because helium just was so dead down here. All right. So I can't really get a trend line. Let's see if there's anything on the 4-hour chart. So I guess if helium comes back above 1923, we had a similar level in ETH, right? Helium's got to come back above 1923. So if we're looking at some sort of all-out reversal, you'll know because you'll get more than one day out of it. Okay, do I have my own Twitter handle? Yes. It's crypto_noble. That's where I do all my hand-kept Gantt charts. So the stream is all Token Metrics and DeMark stuff, and my Twitter is Gann done by hand. Matter of fact, they're so into my Gann on Twitter that if I try to say anything other than Gann on my Twitter, it seems they get upset. That's how much they like the Gann, I guess. Right? Welcome to social media. Okay, TWT. Seems like people are buying dips. So there was no give up trade. It came back 50% and they bought it. So it was like a 9 top, right? Then there was the counter trend move. So if it's above $1.23, that's another fib number. Then you can hope for something good to happen. Polkadot, I kind of said, was in like now or never mode. Okay, so again, very typical, right? The big support was down here at $17. I'm not sure if we noted that. Okay, and then the next resistance is up at $19.12. So really, what's gone on in Polkadot in the last 48 hours? Nothing. Well, something has gone on. It went all the way down and all the way back. That's because it was probably a stop fishing exercise, right? They just stopped everyone out, and then they turned around and took it back up again. Now, whoever pulled that off, are they going to hodl the crypto, or are they going to suck everybody in and then unload on their heads? By the way, folks, we appreciate you hitting the like button out there. Okay, Aave. Okay, and then we'll go back and actually do the market update within the market update and see what's going on the quote board. Okay, so this is the 4-hour chart, right? Buying this with a vengeance. Okay, so what do we know about Aave? Well, let's see what we know about Aave. The 62% retracement of the big up move is right around 170. So even though it looks amazing, but really, and somebody was asking this question before, like in this case, you want to wait for Aave to get above and close above 170. So reversals are great. The question is, right? Okay. Will somebody buy it tomorrow? Someone's buying it today because of the squeeze. Will someone buy it tomorrow? Okay, so YGG, pretty depressing. Okay. Now, when you look at a 90-minute chart, whoops, you can't help but think that this was a give-up trade, that people just gave up, right? That people gave up. Okay. Now, that said, the 62% retracement of the down move is at $2.10. So, if this is a real deal move, it'll take that out. If you're hodling it, you can keep hodling it. If it doesn't take out $2.10, particularly in a lot of this highly speculative stuff, right? Reduce risk on rallies. Okay, so Rose, a very popular layer one solution, as I understand it. Our guys found this early. So again, huge puke all the way back. The level to consider is 0.232. Let's look at the daily just to see what it looks like. Okay, so amazing reversal candle. Now here was a reversal candle, not really that amazing, but Rose took off. So if crypto is good, you'll get this reversal and it'll keep going. Okay, let's just take a look at Rose over on Token Metrics. Okay, so the AI momentum indicator got spooked at the bottom. Okay, it got spooked, right? Which is why I'm saying it's like, all right, sometimes you get these sell signals and then they're either wrong because it's a range, right? So in other words, Rose could be in a range between 30 cents and 21 cents. Okay, you'll know if it's a reversal, right, if it holds tomorrow. Now, KDA, a very popular market update requested coin. Okay, so is there hope for the KDA believers? So KDA is at the bottom of a box. It's probably, if I can get it to come up, okay, KDA is also relatively far away from its Williams moving averages. So, this is a nice looking reversal, and there's some hope for KDA to get back to 6. But again, KDA's been at 6 for a while, right? In other words, you need to know, you need some evidence that KDA is actually just going back to where it was, or whether there's some real deal action going on here. Now, speaking of real deal action, let's just take a look at stocks. Okay, let me write down FXX for somebody in Jersey. Okay, so looking at stocks, let's take a look at 89-minute chart. So stocks never went down today. Okay, stocks never went down today. That could be why crypto came back. Okay, this is long bond yields, right? Remember long bonds scaring everybody? Okay. This is the weekly chart. Okay, so it hasn't gone above 3%. See this right here? I don't know if you can see the mouse, US 30Y. So I guess if it's below 3, it's okay. If that yield goes above 3, it is not okay. Okay, let's see what's going on in ETH on the 8-hour chart, and then we'll go back to requests. So we're kind of doing this a little bit more on the market update. Feel free to let us know whether you like it or whether you don't like it. Okay. We're doing like mini Bitcoin and ETH checks during the day, like during the update itself, particularly if the market is moving. Now, let's talk about this whole idea of are people willing to pay higher prices for stuff? Okay, let's talk about a different angle on that. Now, let me ask you this. So Ethereum goes down and then it comes back, and then it goes down and then it comes back, and then it goes down and it comes back hard. Now, in Elliott wave terms, that is a series of ones and twos. That means it starts and then it stops. It starts and then it stops. It starts and then it stops. Okay. Now, sometimes, all right, if the rally fails, when you have this structure, okay, that can lead to a much, much bigger down move. Okay. I mean, God, doesn't this candle look amazing? I mean, it's already gone down. You're like, oh my God, look at this huge reversal. Okay. Yeah, it is a huge reversal. Okay. If it completely, this is the 89-minute chart of ETH. Okay. So the 62% retracement of the move back is roughly 3,008. So if you're watching the recording of this video tomorrow or tonight, okay, or depending on where you live, right? If ETH is above 3,008, then you don't have to worry as much about that negative Elliott wave scenario. Okay, if ETH comes back down below that, you have to worry about the Elliott wave scenario. So this is why people are like, well, should I wait for confirmation of the uptrend? I think if it's good, you can buy a dip, right? It's either going to run up here and then come back down, and then you can buy it, right? It hasn't paid to buy anything on a big green up day. Okay, Baby Whale says DXY down, crypto up. So this is DXY, the dollar index. Ironically, we were looking at a 1-hour chart. Okay. So big new high in DXY and a lower high in momentum indicators. So that could be constructive. That could have been a blow off top in the dollar. So of all the things we've looked at today, that's the most constructive. Okay, let's see if we have NKN here. Okay, so very impressive comeback. Resistance is at 21 cents. It's at the old April 17th high. Okay, so all the way down, all the way back. That looks good. Let's just for laughs see what the weekly looks like. Steve J is telling me that Luna has lost its mind and is pumping. Let's check that out. Okay. So from what this looks like, it broke the moving average, and next stop is 97. Right? So what's happening today, so let's try to wrap it up from here, right? Apparently, the washout over the weekend was some attempt by big players to hoover up crypto. Okay? So they took everyone's crypto and now they're ramping it. All right? Now, sometimes if you missed it, or if you got bearish, because, you know, people were searching for like cryptocurrency crash, should you buy the dip? Yes, it turns out that what has held true for a while is still true, right? You buy despair and sell euphoria, right? The people who were worried it was going to zero, okay, are probably going to turn around and buy it, say, 2 days from now, right? The good news is the range of Bitcoin still appears to be, the bottom of it anyway, is at 39. So I was thinking they were going to reset the bottom to 36. We'll see. Okay, so for my concluding point, on green days, in coins that have not performed, reduce risk. If there's stuff out there that you want, Cardano, Zcash, Thorchain, okay? We were looking at OKC, Monero, okay? If you want this stuff, okay, then you should be able to buy the next dip. Don't FOMO in on some huge green candle. Yes, Luna is pumping, but Luna was all the way up at 126. So Luna has been hammered. So let's sum up the sum up. If something's been hammered and you want to try the dip, you want to buy the dip, you can do that. Okay? If you want to FOMO into a green candle because you feel like you missed it, don't do it. Even if it goes higher, if you're wrong, your head's gonna get messed up. The most important asset that you have, other than your capital, is your sanity. Okay? So we'll wait to see if this pump holds. All right? And we'll be back tomorrow to find out if we're reducing risk or we're buying the dip. This is Bill Noble from Token Metrics. Please hit the like button on the way out. We will see you tomorrow.